How do you protect yourself from being scammed while you're on holidays? You've let your defences down, your guard is down, you're maybe not as vigilant as you normally would be. I'll give you a couple of hints to how to stay safe with your money while travelling overseas. One of the best ways to protect yourself when travelling overseas is to familiarise yourself before you travel to what the currency looks like, how large the denomination is, and what the currency conversion rate would be. It's not uncommon with countries with notes with similar colours or a similar size to get confusing when you're handing over a note. Ways that you can check for a counterfeit note is you feel the texture of the paper. Normally the paper of a country will have an embossed or a raised section within the ink. There will also often be a hologram at one part, and there will be 2 or 3 different mechanisms within the note to know that if it's a counterfeit note or not. Another way to be ripped off while on holidays is an unfavorable exchange rate, and you'll usually find these in touristy traps, tourist areas, or at airports where there may be several different service providers, but they've all hiked up their conversion rate to give you, the consumer, the lowest rate possible and them to have the greatest profit. So an unfavorable conversion rate. So have an understanding about what your denomination is and how that would normally convert when you're travelling overseas. Another way to know that you're going to be ripped off if you use a ATM machine that's in a touristy area. It's going to have a higher fee, and it's often only going to allow you to take out a larger denomination. Or when it comes to the first screen, it gives you a forced choice of a larger denominations, a larger numbers. And so what you need to go to is other to reduce that amount that you want to withdraw, because one of the ways that they earn their money is a percentage of the amount that you withdraw. So you withdraw a larger amount, they get a higher, they get the percentage of that higher amount. So be vigilant with an ATM, because the other thing it has is dynamic currency conversion. So when it asks you, do you want it in the conversion to the local currency or your existing currency for your card, you always want to take the existing currency for your card, because your bank will go do a medium price currency conversion for the day that it is exchanged, where the dynamic currency conversion, the DCC, is always going to be at a lower rate for you and a higher rate for them. So you are never going to win out. You are going to be scammed for your hard-earned money. One of the ways that I know that I was attempted to be scammed while traveling in a taxi in Jordan is I always fold my notes so that each denomination is folded a certain way, and each note, I've got my 5s together, my 1s together, etc. And so what happened on this occasion is when I handed over the money, I knew that it was the right amount, but what the guy did was he slipped away the larger denomination in the group that I'd given him and said, "You've given me less money than I wanted." And I just explained to him in my unique Australian way that he was a liar. He wasn't going to rip me off because I know exactly how much money I had given him. So what they do is they will switch a note. If you give a larger denomination and they see the colour of it or whatever, they will slip it out and say, "You didn't give me enough money," or they will say, they will always demand more money. So it's a bait and switch type thing. Be vigilant about how much money you are handing over to what the fare is going to be. If you give a larger amount and they're going to give you change, there's a high probability that they might not even give you the correct change because you're in a hurry, you grabble it together and you get out of the taxi. So be vigilant about the money you are handing over or the money that you're receiving back. Another way that you can be scammed out of money, especially if the money is folded, for example, if they've folded it in a way where the same note has 2 ridges on it and they're counting the same note twice. So you think you are getting the right currency as they are counting it over to you, but once you get out away from the situation, you will see that that bill is folded in a way that that one bill has been counted twice. So you are being disadvantaged, they aren't giving you the right amount of change, and you have lost out. You've been scammed more money. Another thing that you've got to be vigilant on is when you're catching a taxi. Every country really has a metered system. If you can't see a meter, sometimes they're hidden. They may be near the rear vision mirror, they may be down on the console, etc. You always say on the meter. They'll often try and say, oh no, it's a set price, and they'll try to negotiate a price. No, that's not the way it works. If you don't feel comfortable getting into a taxi that doesn't have an obvious meter, get out. Get another taxi. One of the things that taxis often do is drive you the longer way. This happened to me in Amman when the person had it on Google map, but they had it on the walking mode, so it took you down some really silly streets. So I got the phone off the guy, I changed it to the street version, the road car version, and it took me directly to my destination without having to be taken down the back streets. So make sure it's on the meter. Make sure that you're going to the destination that you want, because often in a foreign country, the taxi driver will go, oh, I don't speak English, I don't speak English. That may be true. There are other ways to communicate with Google Translate, for example. Take a photo or a screenshot of the destination that you're wanting to travel to, and if you do have a phone that has a SIM card on it and you can track the journey, you can see that you're on the right destination or the right journey for the destination that you're heading to. So there's a couple of handy hints that may help you save a little bit of money and not be scammed on your next holiday. This is Julie, Jules Cruise Companion, saying stay safe, everybody, and happy travels.